Into the Ford League Lounge. Crowd, unreal start. Keep it going. And Monty, Betham, a couple of regulars on the show. We're back. Aysh, sheesh, what a weekend out at Mount Smart. We saw Jersey Flag, we saw Cup, we saw NRLW being introduced, and we saw the Warriors. How was your Saturday experience out there?
Saturday was awesome, mate. Had a bit of kai out there. I think Monty might have seen me with some chips in my mouth, so obviously droning it down with the L&P, but it was good. The atmosphere was good. Once again, the fans were amazing out there, and the footy was just as good. Maybe not the result, but the footy was good.
What about you, Monts?
I think Sunday morning was very sad, boys. Quite sad, actually, because I've just had the one NRL club in my lifetime.
Oh, here we go.
How many of you guys were singing Up, Up, Cronulla on the way home?
Yeah.
Or did you have even a smile on your face perhaps Sunday morning?
No,
Own up, boys.
I wasn't happy at all. Huh?
Yeah.
Hey, but I know who was, and that was the Cronulla Sharks. They were singing that boy, Bad Boy Loud and Proud. Let's have a little recap on what went out out there on Saturday night.
What a sight to see. Warriors playing on home soil. Hostile welcoming for the away team.
These Warriors fans are second to none in this NRL competition. 5 of the last 7 games between these two at Go Media Stadium have been decided by 4 points or less.
Tackle 0 for Cronulla. They've got numbers out to the right. Here's Ramian. Ramian trying to get around the outside. Ramian straightens up. Ramian scores. Martin having a run. Martin going. Martin scoring. Is away the Warriors. Back it goes. Extra time for Martin. Bosman cast down. Cronulla have it. For Cronulla. Back it goes. Drop kick from him. It's long. It's high. And it looks good. This kick to put us into golden point. And he's pushed it. Cronulla have it. And that'll do it.
Yeah, what an unbelievable finish, to be honest. And seeing some of those clips there, especially the Will Kennedy play, boys, it's a friendly reminder that the game is built off such fine margins and special moments and special plays. And Will Kennedy come up with a massive one for his side. But let's get into the talking points for all things Waz straight away. Segment 1 this week, straight into it. I want to talk about a bit of positivity, because it wasn't all bad. Obviously, we're on the wrong side of the scoreboard. And yes, there's moments that we wish we could have back. There's always going to be that. But here's a bloke who needed to stand up, in my opinion. You know, a lot was made about the blokes that weren't going to be there. Some alphas, some leaders, but Mons Smith, he stood up in a massive way.
2023, he was the Ayshford ball captain of the team, and then a few years later, you find himself in a real hard position to get in there for the alpha himself, James Fisher-Harris, where you got Origin players away, and he stood up. He's been getting better, and in terms of the new prototype, the build, the physique, and also the engine, he's much like Jackson Ford in terms of, trust me, he can go all day.
Yeah, and he looked like that in the first half, didn't he, Mons? I think he almost went the first 40. It was a late sub, but he did not look out of place at all.
No, it's a beautiful, I guess, problem to have, this depth that we keep talking about for the Warriors. Now, Tanner led the run meters for the entire Warriors forward pack. And when you can talk about someone like Tanner and highlight him next to what we see week in, week out of Jacko Ford, he went all day too, Jacko Ford. Sometimes you sort of just got to sit and pause and take a breath around what he's producing week
Another 50 tackle game.
Another 50 tackle game. And it's almost like sometimes you go, oh, yeah, that's just Jacko Ford. But honestly, special efforts from our two starting front rows, so we have to highlight them. Here we go. This is the one. I love this one. Next talking point, Mackay Tafour. Now, Mons Macca, a kid you know a lot about. Seen him come through the ranks, and to see him get his shot in the weekend, special moment not only for him, but some of the pictures you saw after the game, his family also.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, he's from down there, St Thomas School as well. He's from the Linwood Kears. He is known as the hitman through this competition. He's the last 2 years, especially been playing New South Wales Cup. He's been outstanding. I think, you know, higher honours this year, just cutting guys in half, even potentially the Tour Samoa team. He's a wonderful player, and he just dishes it out.
Yep. And to your point, Mons, about hitting, he did not disappoint. But for me, we all know our debut, some might have been a lot longer than others. But you go out there and you try and do everything. And for him, it didn't look like that. It looked like he belonged. He was out there throwing the pass. He knew when to run. It was a perfect stick.
He is a complete hooker. Yeah.
It's exciting times. Like, again, that depth at the club. You got someone like Sam Healy, who we had on the couch only last week. He's out for a little bit with a thumb, but such an impressive debut for a kid who's backed by his coach. I think when we spoke to Andrew Webster pre-game, he spoke around the clarity he's given Macca just to go out and express himself. back himself wholeheartedly. You saw him take a carry, I think, on the second or third touch of the footy, and you saw he was straight into the contest. So beautiful stuff from the debutant. And hopefully there's plenty more to come. I'm sure there will be, right? Hey, boys, before we move on to Tamati, I just want to have a look at this picture because Tanner and Macca, their journey, we highlighted them up here, but they go back a long way. This was a post on Tanner's Stella Smith's social media, Instagram, so get out there and follow him. Now, this is sick. Look at this next picture. This is from, look at the two there.
Yeah, man.
Macca's doing the that's gold, and Tanner's just at the front there kneeling down. Like, that is unbelievable to go from grassroots in a system through the Christchurch system to play on the big stage up in Auckland for the Warriors. Can we just give that a round of applause?
Love it.
An unbelievable. Hey, boys, just want to touch on Tamati quickly. Now, Tamati had a disruptive start to the year through opportunity. I just feel like this guy's grabbing it with both hands. Now, the game probably didn't play out in a classic halves way, like your dream way, and maybe what he's been used to playing behind. Pack laying that foundation, opposition sort of breaking, field position, territory, all that stuff being in your favour. But what I loved about Tamati's game is that he found multiple ways to get involved. Saw him pushing off the back of some middle forwards for tip-ons, doing the tough stuff, and obviously leading with his defence like he always does. So Tamati, another outstanding performance. Let's have a look at the graphics from the weekend, though, because a couple of key stats, boys. Now, we've sat here multiple times and spoken about possession and completion being in favour of the Warriors side, and it's been the backbone to their season, Aish.
Yeah, it has been, and it wasn't really like a Warriors 2026 performance from the weekend. The Sharks probably turned up that way, and it shows. I mean, right there in the stats, and that's how the game played out, wasn't it? The Warriors were starved of possession, and it started from the first kickoff. Yeah. Like the Sharks, their intent, they were there ready for it.
Yeah, I look at that, and it's not often we've had to sit here and be on this wrong side of the completion and possession, but it actually showed through the way we actually played footy. I thought we played quite tight, and maybe it was the conditions, maybe it was the pressure Cronulla put on us, but we were quite reserved with the ball. I think back to us playing Panthers only a couple of weeks ago, a lot of movement, eyes up, like not high risk, just moving the footy when we needed to, you know, not running into the teeth of them. So maybe it's something they'll look at during the week. But let's just touch on the Cronulla Sharks, because we do have to pay our respects to them, and they showed up with a clear picture on what it was going to take to beat the Warriors at home. And
from the start, Shaun.
Mons, talk to us about this.
From the start, look at that effort there up there. And that's the thing, they were relentless the whole way through. They rushed defence, they were coming up, they were trying to make them play early, they were pressuring the halves. Just that intent the whole way through. They were just coming out in numbers. Big Toby, was having a go. They were going, Rudolph and all.
Yeah, the forwards were going straight after it, like you said, Mons, from the start. And to your point as well, the Sharks were winning it with their defence. I don't think it was too much in the attack that worried the Warriors, because they looked pretty content when they were
both
defending.
sides defensively were on. It was a quality game in that respect.
Hey, boys, how refreshing was it to see a 10-8 scoreline in the current game and how this year's been, interpreted. Anyway, one bloke, we talked about defence there, let's talk about Tricky Trindle. Now, comes up with the play, a 45-metre drop goal. Like, are you kidding? Like, come on, bro, jog on. We don't need to see that at Mount Smart. But it was a lot of the things he did before that led to those moments, right? Putting the ball in the right spot. His kicking game was ruthless. It was relentless with where he's deciding to put that ball and just coming up with the high percentage plays. I saw him playing short, isolating halves. Those moments lead to something like this. And as soon as that hit left the boot, it was like a thud. Bang, you just knew. We were up there in the commentary corner and we were just going, oh, Lord. We knew straight away that he'd hit it that good. And you pair him with someone like Will Kennedy, they're going to be there or thereabouts at the back end of the year. So, hey, as a Warriors fan base, we can get around that, all right? Unreal with it. All right, time for a quick break. On the other side, all things Wars, CRC quality moment. See you shortly.
Kicks through, chase on, trying to get there again. Look who flashes from the left. A bloke called Johnston.
The Papali at the Yongi. Here comes the Tatonga, straight through the gap. There it is, the Eels, and the big three chant.
Luai will take charge. He gets it here. Jerome Luai looking for three. Jerome Luai, hat-trick hero.
Quality moment. Now, this moment is actually part of a bigger picture here. This is a part of our All Things Not Waz segment, all right? And this is Izzy Katoa of the Dolphins. Now, this bloke's a freak, all right? And we want to actually talk about some of the things that he's doing for his side. Now, if you want the extended version of Izzy Katoa, just pop over to my socials, eh? Shaun_Johnson90 on Instagram. Go get it. But let's roll the tape. Here we go. Here we go. First one here is Izzy Katoa's try from the weekend. Sees a picture he wants and gets to Daly Cherry Evans' inside shoulder. So this is one of his threats, his running game. He's strong. He's actually a big body for a halfback. And he's able to, I guess, carry some back rolls through contact. Play it out. Gets into the right spot through seeing the right picture, pumps that footy, and is able to carry Siwa Wong over the try line here. This is where I want to start really getting into the Dolphins here because, pause there, Izzy Katoa, when he's in this mood, all right, when you want to be a half and you feel like, oh, yeah, I'll just tuck the ball under my wing, start pointing at the defence, that's really telling the defence that you got all the time in the world. I am dictating to you what I want to do. Okay. Now, what this does is actually brings in his running mate Cody Nikorima, and this is the combo, which to me suggests that these guys are going to be a real threat at the back end of the season. They're starting to click now, but it's moments like this. Play this out. Izzy Katoa holding the middle third of the park up, sitting defenders from sliding off and giving his 5'8" in the headgear a little bit more time to ball play. All right, Cody's classy in himself, and they've got skill and speed all across the park to be able to ice those moments. This is it here, though. Let's have a look at this. Izzy Katoa sees Cody Ramsey, who is the Sydney Roosters fullback in the defensive line. He comes up as a full A defender. So if he's up in the line, instantly, as a half, you're going, well, where's the space? Okay, but the beautiful part of this is Cody and his outside men, they're actually in position to run the footy. But that tacit knowledge or the call coming from either Izzy to Cody or Cody to Izzy is on point and on the money. Because look at the reaction here. Play it out. Cody goes from being out the back to go, nah, it's changed. I need to push up flat, get on this, times this run to perfection. And it's this sort of connection and this sort of combo that is what separates halves pairings, the good ones to the great ones, okay? Now, Mont, I could sit here all day and talk about the halves, all right? But as for the Dolphins, they've got a few other strike weapons as well.
Oh, look, across the board, but for me, it's the middlemen that I like the most. Jeremy Marshall-King in there, marshalling his troops. You've got Flegler, you've got Mauler, who's in outstanding form, and then even a little bit wider on the edges, Finifuiaki, some X-factor, some ability there. We saw a back five last week from the Sharks destroy the Wars. What can a back five like this do from the Dolphins?
Well, sometimes when you talk about X's and O's, you just need someone who can do something out of nothing. You got Bostock as an aerial threat, but it's more Herbie Farnworth. You give him the ball coming back across the ruck, you give it to him out wide one-on-one, and he's usually beating his man every time. And I think when we get into the finals, we're going to see that. We're going to need someone to do something special one-on-one, and that's where they all come together.
Yeah, every team's sort of got one of those guys. Can we just bring up the graph here that you guys... Look, the team out the back's been cooking away all day, guys, all right? Some of this stuff...
Oh, very nice.
Look how silky this looks. You get nothing but the best here on the League Lounge. Now, we've highlighted Izzy Katoa as their best player or their key player. You see weakness there. We've sort of just gone down this path of they haven't got actual finals experience, so you wonder how that'll bode at the pointy end. But their recent results, there's a lot of things in favour, and they're red-hot, like they're in red-hot form. They really are. Let's jump on to this next team that we've pinpointed, and it is the Manly Sea Eagles. Now, Fosball is in full effect over there. We've touched on it a few times, and boys, this is another team that on their day are so hard to beat, especially at Four Pines. Now, we've highlighted Tommy Turbo as their best player. He's obviously out at the moment. So you think, what is this team going to be like once he gets back in with what they've been able to put together while he's been out, Ash?
Well, the thing I love at the moment is they've been for so many years a team that shifts it from side to side. But since Foz has come in, he's got the big boys like Paseka and Hamoli Olakwatu running over people, which is setting that up beautifully. And I think when Tommy comes back in, it's just going to work for them because he's going to get on the back of those shift plays, and I think we'll see them definitely at the back end.
Well, I think about what we just spoke about with Izzy and Cody in the halves, and you look at this halves pairing. Brooks and Fogarty. Took a little bit of time for them to click, but they're really starting to find their mojo, and especially under Foz. Like, Foz is so clear around what the style he wants to play, and you see them getting on board with it, and none more so than the combo between Fogarty and Brooks. So that's only going to develop the more time they have in the chair together. Let's have a look at Tommy Turbo here. Now, look, boys, he's a gun, okay? He's a real gun. I know we haven't seen too much of him recently, but you forget... This bloke, only a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, ran away with the Dally M in like record fashion. And when he just decides, I want to carry the footy, he can run over you. He's not just skillful,
he is a big human being with pace and everything. Like, he's one of those guys that you want to play alongside too, Shawnee. There's no doubt. I remember an under-20s game, he ran for 5 tries, he scored 500 metres as well. And that's what he can do. Absolute freak.
Hey, let's get on to this last team, all right? I don't know, Aisha's... Yeah, he's probably...
Aisha's team,
he picked them. Aisha's team. That is the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Aish, that we've got best player is Latrell Mitchell. Okay.
When he's playing,
When he's playing. All right. But what else do you like about them? And what stands out to you?
Well, to me, for the Bunnies, I think everything revolves around Cody Walker. I think his pass selection, his kicking game, his temperament and his energy. 4 things there. If he controls that, I think the Bunnies can actually go very far in this competition, because you've got the likes of the forwards like Fafita, Colin Matangi, Cameron Murray. You've got the players there, but I think it all revolves around
Cheese off
Cody
the bench,
Walker.
perhaps.
That's what I wanted to come to you about. Brandon Smith, if he starts, if he's fit at 9, how good can they be?
Well, you remember how good he was at the Storm years when he came off the bench and he could just do everything, play middle forward, he could play also that 9 position. But when you talk about strike, if they get all their forwards on the field, all their players across the board, they could have as much strike as we saw as the Broncos run last year into the final series, one of the best finals run we've seen.
Boys, I want to talk about, we've highlighted Cody Walker and Latrell Mitchell. All right, they're the 2 left-sided players. All right, and for so long, since I can remember playing against them, previewing them, it was like we knew where the threat was. So you're just loading up. You're loading up to try and nullify that threat. But with Jai Gray in there, they're actually a far more balanced attacking side. They will open up that side and allow Jai just to sit on that short side. And his combination with Tallis Duncan at times has proven to be one that's hard to handle. So I just look at the Souths, and what scares me most backing up Aish is the balance that they can play with and the idea of them being healthy. Yeah, they could be a real threat at the back end. Yeah.
Coach, throw a Wayne Bennett in there.
Oh yeah, he goes all right.
Wayne Bennett.
Well, then let me put over the top Jai Arrow.
Yeah.
You think about motivation, you think about trying to do the right thing for your teammate. I mean, that's another superpower for the side at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. Those jerseys were an unbelievable touch over the weekend too. Hey, they were really nice. Boys, something kind of big is happening in a couple of days, so I guess we better talk about it. It is Origin Game 2. Yeah, you guys know about that? Yeah, you heard about Origin, right? Now, Origin Game 2, look, I sit in a bit of a neutral spot here, right? But let's have a look at, I guess, some ins and outs. There's a few changes there for the Blues, which in my humble opinion, I thought there needed to be, even though they won. All right, Aish, you're a proud Blues man. What do you make of these?
Big ins. I think Mitchell Moses is the biggest sin of all. I know he hasn't played much football, but his kicking game, you could probably speak more on this, but he is, in my eyes, one of the best kickers. In Origin, he can probably get you out of trouble if you're in your own 20.
Yeah. There's players, Moses and Burden are probably the 2 where you feel like you've just put on a good defensive set. You're going, yeah, come on, how about that? He'll poot you right back onto your try lane. You've got to start all over again. So to your point, in this arena, it's going to be massive. I also look at Payne Haas, I thought.
Great inclusion.
The middle third from the Maroons got the better of the Blues in the early stages of Game 1. But Monts, you're a proud Queens.
Yeah, look, I play a bit over there in the Queensland Cup. I just look at, Walsh and him coming back in, coming off the bench. He's got a lot to prove. But that speed, that X factor that you don't lose overnight, that quality's there. Fini Fuiaki comes in, he got a little bit more strike through that as well. And Nikora gets a start. And that's deservingly so, because he's been in good form, good touch. And I just look at this and I think, this would have been 1-0 to, of course, the Maroons if Ashley Klein didn't have his way and make a shocking call, probably one of the worst calls in history. And I think about the send-offs throughout the game, historically, have only been about 6, and I think Ashley Klein's responsible for 3 or 4.
Oh, okay.
How does he get a second game?
Oh, Lord. Okay, Big Clay, we better get to a break on that note. Hey,
any Queenslanders out here? Queenslanders!
Hey, on the other side, we've got the Ford fan question. We'll see you shortly. Time for the fan forward question. You got that bad boy? Now, boys, since this question's come in, there has been a bit that's gone on, but let's read it, all right? Who should wear the blame for the expired shot clock on the dropout, the players or the referee? Now, before we dive into it, let's just have a look at a recap of this because, this audio is important. 5 seconds.
Chanel, I'm not responsible. When the buzzer goes, the buzzer goes, mate. No, it's a timing thing, mate. It's not my responsibility.
Yeah, look, that burns a little bit, to be honest, watching that back when you think about the outcome and us losing by 2 points. But look, we kind of got to be as transparent as we can here. Like when we watched it live, my first reaction was like, surely common sense. How refreshing would it be for the ref just in that moment, just to be like, hey, look, hand up, my bad. I told you 5 seconds. It clearly wasn't 5 seconds. Like, that would be great. And I think what Annesley's come out and said today, as soon as the ref does give a verbal instruction, that overrules any existing rule or shot clock, right? Yeah, we're happy in the crowd with that. Hey, but it doesn't change the outcome, all right? It does not change the outcome. And I think what I do know is that, yes, publicly we can make some uproar about it, but internally, and this is what's good about our footy side, is that is not the reason we lost. Yeah, I think that's important to hold on to. We remember being in that room, mate. We remember being in that room, and we can do all the moaning and groaning because that was wrong, all right? But I think for the players to answer this question, they're by no means looking at this as the play that lost them the game. They still had plenty of other moments. There's still so many other things. Calls that they did get go their way also, all right? So onwards and upwards next week. Yeah, we'll get it done, all right? Hey, let's get into a little bit about Christchurch this week. We're going down to the OC. Hey, Christchurch Warriors are coming to town. They get to be in this new stadium, One NZ Stadium, and it looks like an absolute treat. Boys, if we're that excited to get down, imagine what the players are feeling like, eh, Shane?
Oh, mate, they'd be so pumped. I mean, getting to play inside a dome, no matter what the conditions are, you won't feel it in there. So, I mean, I know we're pumped to get down in the stadium. I've heard it's like a mini Suncorp. So I cannot wait. But the players would be excited, fast running.
Yeah. And we've heard a lot of people talk about the Super Rounds and how good that was, but they have seen nothing yet. The WAS fans are the best, and the way we do it and our fans get behind it will just be like Magic Round.
Yeah. It's going to be a special Sunday Arvo down there. It's going to actually be a special weekend of rugby league, all right? I'll touch on that a little bit later. But let's talk about the Cowboys who are coming to town, all right? Because they're a real threat. They really are. They're a gun side. They've got quality players, and they're always there or thereabouts. Now, I want to speak around Tommy Dearden. Aish, you and your investigating, you did a bit of research, and he is due back.
Speaking to the NRL injury list report, which you can find on any safari, he is supposed to be back round 16, it said. So, look, I expect him to play. Why not? The Cowboys are sitting okay on the ladder, but always helps to come over here and get a win. So he'll be a huge threat, and possibly, like you spoke about, the Queensland number 7, he would have been without injury.
Absolutely would have been. But I ask you, Shaun, from another 7 to a quality 7 in the game, probably one of the best out there, if he comes up and turns up on that tip sheet or that team list, what sort of part does he play, even though he's been out for some time?
No, 100%. He's a massive part, all right? Obviously, you've got to solve him defensively. But for me, a bloke that's come in after a long layout, I'm saying Monts, get the boys running at him, yardage carries, elbows, get them stuck into him and let him know that he's back into an NRL footy game, right? Because I know I hated that when I was playing, all right? But these guys will be running at me, I'll be like, no, don't do that, all right? Please, stop. So, yeah, look, he's going to be a massive target for us, but they've got threats all over the park. Scott Drinkwater at fullback, again, so saucy with the ball. He injects his speed out the back and makes you think twice defensive on an edge. But, boys, will the Origin players return? What do you... I'll come to you, Mike. Last one I asked you just quickly. It's a Sunday Arvo game.
I think he'll be thinking maybe potentially one comes back. So I don't think Fisher Harris is going to play again. I think maybe it's Kurt Capewell that comes off, or Barney gets put on the bench and maybe use him, or you don't. Good to have him up your sleeve.
Hey, boys, just before we wrap, hey, Christchurch, the League Lounge is coming to town.
Let's go.
We've got a live show, the Loft Bar. We're going to be there Friday. We've got a stunner crew, Louis Brown, Kevy Walters. We've got the crew, Stacey Jones. All of them are going to be a part of the show. Cannot wait. All right? Yeah, get around it. We'll see you there. But, boys, thank you very much for your time. Crowd, you guys were unreal. Thank you. And to my sponsors, Ford and CRC. As always, without you, this is not possible. Hey, enjoy your week. Up the wires. We'll see you down in Christchurch. Up the wires.